Today is going to be a very, very memorable day in a season like this, stepping into a new year. We are going to start afresh again, and that is a good news to everyone to hear. That people are dying of diabetes, people have been victim of all of this. Nevertheless, I stand today to tell you that this diabetes is not a sugar problem. And if I should be bold enough to declare what should be universally accepted to be a sugar problem, can I explain myself? Yes, that's why I'm here. Now, if that is the case, how could I be in position to tell you right now that thing we have been talking about, calling it diabetes, I have sugar, come on. Permit me to tell you, everything you need in the journey of life is sugar. If your body does not have glucose in a period of 5 minutes, that very body will collapse. You will collapse. You need the sugar. That's why you see some people all of a sudden, boozer, even a diabetic person will collapse. You say, find sugar, find sugar. Why are you adding sugar to a person who already have a sugar problem? No. It is not the sugar. The body itself needs sugar. Now, to help you understand this in further, which I'm not trying to encourage you to go and eat sugar. Have you not wondered, why is it that a certain group of people are being told, no, because you have diabetes, don't take sugar, this other one. In fact, we even carry it as if it is a word of, if you eat sugar, you have diabetes. My friend, I'm here to tell you, it's not true. If I'm not diabetic or predisposed to having diabetes, I can take a packet of sugar and I won't have diabetes. Have I asked you to go and take a packet of sugar? I never say so. Of course, that is also synthetic. It's not the natural sugar that the body actually gets from their food. On that accord, if somebody else will eat sugar, it won't be diabetic. So it is not a problem originating from sugar itself. I do hope you get me right, because I want to clear up this very far to help you have a deeper understanding and also help you never, even if you have become diabetic, you shouldn't have any of these sequelae. We are working towards increasing Nigerian life expectancy coming from 2025 with the aid of technology I will also show you today. Nevertheless, we need to understand this foundation. It is the reason why some people will say, no, I don't know how I got this. I don't know how it came about. Therefore, it must be an attack from the enemy. Even to take their drugs, they will say they won't take again. Come on. I will help you to understand this origin and what you should do. Okay. Now, if diabetes is not a sugar problem, Dr. Richard Okoye, can you tell us now, what is it? I know that's your question. And this is how it begins. Physiologically, when you eat food, the food goes to your mouth, and what the body is searching from that very food, be it protein, be it carbohydrate, ultimately it will need energy, it will need sugar, it will need glucose. That's it. That's the truth. So the sugar we do refer to be diabetes is actually a product of somebody's observation that urine somebody produced was testing sugar. He has not told what cause and where that thing is coming from. And that is important why you should know. And for me to also further explain this for you to understand, we recall from one of the teachings I gave that there are 3 classical symptoms of diabetes. Classical P's, 3 of them, what is called polyuria, frequent urination, polydipsia, frequent drinking, and polyphagia, too much eating. All right? What is then diabetes? Come on, friend. I'm here to tell you, diabetes is not a sugar problem. diabetes is an insulin problem. It's a problem of insulinemia. There is a problem that has to do with the insulin. Now, I tell you, there is a particular organ in your body that is called pancreas. This very pancreas is what produces an important hormone called insulin. Listen to me. This very insulin is what determines whether you are having diabetes or you are not having diabetes. It is this organ that determines whether you will be diabetic or whether you will not be diabetic. This very pancreas produces a very important, as a matter of fact, it produces one important hormone. This hormone controls virtually everything that has to do with woman metabolism. It controls virtually everything. And that is what is called insulin. And I can tell you, diabetes is an insulin problem. It is not a sugar problem. Not at all. Give me sugar and not diabetic, I won't be diabetic. I'm not asking you to go and pack all the sugars and take. Yeah. So it is not the sugar. This is where the problem is coming from. And how does it happen? I mentioned something quite significant. Let's look at this. When you eat food, watch this interesting thing. When you eat your food, whatever you call it that you are taking, this will now be taken into the stomach and then be digested. And as earlier established, the food will be absorbed into the body. All right? And when this food is absorbed, it will go through the vessels. This is glucose, this is sugar. This is the blood vessel carrying the food. All right? This is the cells of the body, but it has a gateway that should be able to enable food to enter here. If you look closely, this is G, glucose, all right? Being carried by the blood vessel, it needs to drop inside here. The cells need it. Everyone needs it. But when it drops, there is a key that is required for this thing to enter inside the body of the cell for them to grow. But see what happened here. Watch. The glucose will drop, it can't enter. It come in here, it can't enter. What is truly happening? This pancreas is what holds the key. This pancreas will now produce the insulin. The insulin will perform something that looks like a miracle. This is the receptors. It will follow that and enter the cell and activate the hole, activate a key, activate the doors to open so that food and glucose will be able to go inside. So insulin holds the key to the mouth of all the cells of the body. In other words, without the insulin, the body cells cannot eat. In type 2 diabetes, even though they have insulin, the insulin is not enough. You see, they are there, but very few. So some will enter, some will not be in position to enter. So you have excess glucose outside, even when the body needs it. What is the implication of this? The implication of this, therefore, is that you can see a man who is diabetic. He will eat his food. He's eating what every other person is eating. In fact, sometimes he will feel very hungry himself. But his body and energy is not commensurate to the quantity of food, you see. To the point that over the time, you can even see a very fat woman, diabetic, all of a sudden it starts shrinking. Come on, what's going on? That is why most of those weight loss, we normally say in attack, in witches and wizards, go and check your fasting blood sugar first. Very key. Now, you see again that this other person will drink, but because of absolute or relative deficiency of this insulin, whatever happened to the pancreas, most of them genetic, it will discover that this person it takes enough water, but the skin is just looking older than normal, It will be, if you check it out, it will just look dry. You can see some level of dehydration. It's taking enough water, but none is entering the cell. Do you know the bad thing also about it is that that's what is called hyperosmolarity. Don't worry about the big grammar, but I will explain to you. If you cook, you can try it today, maybe if you don't know. If you take a salt, raw salt, keep it on the table, leave it over the night, as you come up tomorrow, it will no longer see the salt, you will see water. What happens is that salt, because of high concentration, it will attract atmospheric water to dilute itself. So you see the salt in the morning has become water. All right? The same thing now will happen. In a situation where these very cells of the body, they don't even have enough water. Whereas the pipe before them have a lot of sugar, a lot of things needed for the body. That is to say, the concentration of things inside the blood vessel is more than the ones that is inside the cells. You know the implication? That's something that happened to the salt. Even though these people don't have enough water inside them, you will still discover that because of high concentration of both salt, glucose, and all that inside the blood vessel, it will now drag more water away from this one that doesn't even have enough, and drag more to go and push inside it. It will push it to the kidney will pour it away. So at that time, you will see this person. It takes water, for Christ's sake. It takes enough water. But if you look at the skin, it will look so dry. You look at it, drag it, it goes down because of dehydration. You see this person looking older than he ought to look. Come on. Something is happening. The cells are not eating enough. They are not drinking enough because of this very condition.